Okay, so we are live again. This session is going to be crafting, gathering and crafting. We are not going to do any story aside from what we need to get to Ulda, which I believe I need to talk to what's her face, lift attendant. First off, let's go get our jobs from here. We have marauders at the very top. What is... How did I don't know how I ended up auto-running, but... Hey yo, Zach and Lupin, thanks for stopping by. How we doing today? What's up, big dog? Not very much. Playing some Final Fantasy 14. What's good, brother? Everything is good. Playing some Final Fantasy 14 currently. Ho there, adventurer. Curious about the Marauders Guild, are ye? Any axe worth wielding needs two hands on the haft and has a blade what can chop clean through a galley's mast. That's the kind of weapon our members trained to use with deceptive swiftness and brutal force. If you're of a mind to make the Marauders your life's work, then our guild welcomes you with open arms. What say ye, lass? Can you join the ranks? You will. Well then, here's a bit of guild history, so ye know what you're getting into. It all started with ships, you see. What have ships got to do with axes, ye ask? Well, building them would be pretty bloody difficult without a sturdy tool to lop down trees for timber. And since only the navigator herself knows when a ship will run afoul of a storm or worse, it makes sense for the crew's carpenter to carry an axe on board. But any tool on a ship can become a weapon, and the axe is perfect for hooking yourself over the rail of an enemy vessel, letting loose in a whirl of steel, and generally laying waste to all about ye. As more seafarers took up the axe as their weapon of choice, so did the bloody art of the marauder begin to take shape, especially among pirates, where strength and skill decided your place in the world. With an eye to assembling crews of battle-ready raiders, the pirates started teaching the proper way to wield a chopping blade to their new recruits, and that's how the Marauders Guild first came to be. After the Galadian Accord was signed, though, the Marauders Guild was never the same. It was taken over, restructured, and purged of its pirate elements. It had been reborn as an institution dedicated to naught but the teaching of axe fighting. The members of this new Marauders Guild weren't no greed-driven cutthroats neither. They were warriors, what sought to use their martial prowess for the good of society. Still keen, are ye? Think it over, then let me know if you decide to join our ranks. We are gonna join your ranks. Alright then, all that needs doing now is to speak with the Axe Master himself. Sounds simple? I've seen folks slink out the door rather than put themselves in the path of that unnerving glare. That's the bloke right there in the middle of the room. Wernzone's his name. Put some steel in your spine and look him straight in the eye when ye talk to him, lass. Good fortune to ye. Yes, I am Wern's own Axemaster, they call me. Not the most imaginative of titles, I agree, but one should not underestimate the value of directness. I welcome your interest in our guild. The art of the marauder is used to rend, to cleave, and to destroy. It is not our way to simply outfight our adversaries. We seek to overwhelm them. A marauder must be the most powerful and enduring presence on the battlefield. We must account for the most enemies defeated. Our role in combat is that of a steel whirlwind, dealing death and destruction without equal. No doubt the question has already been put to you by Blothada, but once more shall I challenge your commitment. Are you prepared for the bloody carnage that awaits an initiate of the Marauders Guild? Yes. Very well. Your name. Attend me well, then, Corrado. Hold fast to this moment of dedication. The path of the marauder is a jagged and perilous one. The blood that spills at your feet will ofttimes be your own. I present to you this axe as a symbol of your commitment. Your first lesson shall be how to hold it. Now grip the haft with both hands and set yourself in a solid stance. Marauder unlocked. You have unlocked a new class. You can change to this class at any time by equipping the weapon received from this quest. Changing classes, yes. Let's put on our weathered war axe and Marauder. Oops, up. Set to hotbar. That is going to be on 8. It will be number 2. So we are going to go this way. And down here to the Culinarians Guild. Guildmaster, receptionist, not supplier, receptionist. I beg your pardons, good madam. This is the Culinarians Guild. If you are here to dine at the Bismarck, one of our waiters will be along shortly to show you to your... Oh, you're not a patron? Might I assume, then, that you wish to become a culinarian? If so, I wholeheartedly recommend you join the Culinarians Guild, where one may learn the culinary arts under the finest chefs in all the realm. What say you? Yes. Wonderful. Then without further ado, I shall acquaint you with the history of our guild. As you are doubtless aware, Limsa Lominsa has long been the gastronomic capital of Eorzea. The city's rich culinary tradition is the product of a unique combination of factors. The first is our proximity to the fertile lands and plentiful seas of Vilbrand, which have ever yielded bounteous produce. The second is our standing as the realm's foremost trading port, which grants us access not only to exotic ingredients from faraway shores, but also to foreign merchants versed in their use. We are, in short, the beneficiaries of culinary knowledge from every corner of the world. Until recently, knowledge of this kind was passed on solely through word of mouth, and was therefore susceptible to corruption and loss. But that all changed when one man made it his mission to catalog every recipe of note. His name was Admiral Guiskif Baldwinson, also known as Mast Cleaver. The man's love of fine cuisine was such that at sea he would regularly spend as much time preparing meals in the galley as giving commands on the bridge. It was none other than he who founded the Culinarians Guild and codified cooking methodology. Today, the guild carries on Baldwinson's legacy, though the scope of our endeavors has expanded significantly. Not content with simply preserving existing recipes, we labor tirelessly to devise wholly novel culinary creations with which to delight the senses. To this end, our doors are open to folk from all walks of life, including adventurers such as yourself. One may liken to our guild to a great pot of stew, and each member to an ingredient imparting a unique flavor. As with every dish, however, adding ingredients willy-nilly is certain to spoil the taste. Before you may take your place in the pot, you must be deemed a worthwhile addition to Guildmaster Lingsath, a man whose passion for cookery burns hotter than any oven. Before troubling him, I must warn you that ours is a truly sweltering kitchen. As such, you would be well advised to ask yourself, can I stand the heat? If you earnestly believe that you can, speak to me once more, and I shall be glad to guide you through the enrollment process. So have you the resolve to walk the path of the culinarian? Yes, we will. Wonderful. Then you must speak to Guildmaster Lingsath at once. This will come as no surprise, but he is the finest chef in Limsa Lominsa. His skill and dedication are second to none. You will find the Guildmaster up the stairs yonder, keeping a watchful eye on his charges. Impress upon him your desire to learn, and he will surely find a place for you in his stew, by which I mean the guild. Well met, venturer. I take it ye want to join our guild. Let's have a good look at ye then. Bah, what's an underfed whelp like you know about cooking? Judging by them scrawny arms of yours, ye'd struggle to lift a spoon, never mind a skillet. Ha ha ha, I jest. It don't take muscle to be a culinarian, else it don't even take talent, at least not on its own. No, lass, more'n anything else, becoming a good cook boils down to passion. If you got that, there ain't nothing you can't achieve. So tell me, have you got it? That's the spirit. Aye, your passion for the culinary arts is plain to see, and you'll be needing every bit of it if ye want to become a master culinarian. Why, if mastery was a 12-course dinner, I'd hardly have finished the soup. Make no mistake, throat's getting a little dry. Make no mistake, our trade's as tough as old mutton, and passion's the only thing what gets us through the gristly bits. But enough talk. What do you call yourself? Well then, Crotto, welcome to the guild. To mark the occasion, I present ye with your very own skillet. Ain't much to look at, but it'll more'n serve a novice like yourself. Now then, let's see whether ye can tell which end's which. Aye, I know I said ye'd struggle to lift a spoon, but ye've won me over. Now, show me ye can hold a skillet, and I'll get ye started on your first task. Culinarian unlocked. Culinarian. So where is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So the first 4 on 7 are going to be those. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So set to hotbar. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's what, 11, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 5, 6, 7, 8 would be this one. So we are gonna go now to Blacksmith's Guild and Armorer's Guild, I guess. Oh, I did not attune to these aetheryte crystals. Which I should definitely do, because it'll make moving around that much easier. And we got another one down the way, and then blacksmith over there. Blacksmith and armor. And sprint. We're gonna end up wasting a bunch of our sprint just to tuning, which kind of sucks, but well. There we go. I guess it wasn't a whole lot of it. Sound a hammer and bring you in from the street, did it, lass? It's well that you find din inviting, for the Armorer's Guild is not the place for quiet reverie. If the clangor of metal striking metal is music to your ears, maybe you've the spirit of a shipwright. Are you of a mind to join our guild? Take it from me, lass, there's no greater joy than working a shapeless lump of iron into a shining breastplate with your own hands. What say you then? Which one? Blacksmith first. Unless you're blind and deaf, I presume you've wandered into our forge of your own accord, drawn by the siren song of our smithy's hammers, no doubt. In these here hallowed halls, Limsa's finest pound metal into all manner of tools and weapons, and when I say Limsa's, I mean the whole bloody realms. Make no mistake, ye need more than a big arm to join our ranks, but if you've got iron in your veins and builder's blessing, speak up. Huh, well, you're not short on confidence, but do ye truly know what you're getting yourself into here, lass? Ours is a trade born of blood and brine, for as long as pirates have sailed the Rotano, smithies have forged their weapons and fitted out their ships from keel to cannon. Course, till sea swallows all, ain't just an idle saying. Brine'll eat through even the stoutest iron given time, and our forebears long struggled to forge more rust-resistant alloys. Lucky for us, the smithies of Eld were a determined bunch, and clever too, so when they learned that the kobolds knew something of advanced metallurgy, the smithies set out to make it their own. Thanks to the kobolds' wisdom, which they generously gifted us with only the merest hint of pirately prompting, Leminson Smithin came on leaps and bounds. 'Twasn't long before the Gridanians and Uldens started eyeing our knowledge like we did the kobolds, though. And so, some 150-odd years ago, two particularly forward-thinking men named Theor Naldig and Bryce Vimeli had the bright idea of establishing a respectable business. Being fair-minded fellows, they'd sell their wares to anyone who had the coin, pirates and foreigners included. And when folks weren't inclined to pay, they made sure to remind them that we hadn't completely forsaken our pirate ways. Times have changed, though, and we're a wee bit more willing to share our wisdom these days. The company's been running the blacksmiths and armorers guilds for years now, welcoming any soul with the necessary talent and will to work. As to whether you've got enough of either, well, that's for the Forge Master to decide. Speak to me when you're ready to present yourself to him. So what'll it be? Reckon you've got what it takes to train with the best goddamned blacksmiths in the realm? Ha, that's the spirit. If you'd taken any longer to decide, I'd have told you to bugger off no matter what you said. Can't have half-arsed adventurers wasting Forge Master Brethail's precious time. See, he's got a lot of irons in the fire. That's why me and the other lads make a point of keeping idlers, imbeciles, and the otherwise unqualified from getting in his way. Any road, it's time you went and paid your respects to the man. He's the one over yonder making a face like he's carrying the weight of the world on his shoulders. Up this way. About time Randwolf sent me a new recruit. It's been too long. I'm Brethail, Forge Master of the Blacksmith's Guild. If you're aiming to become a smithy worth the name, 'twould be my great pleasure to educate ye on the finer points of the craft. Oh, the rest of these sour-faced bastards will tell ye it's hard ruling work fit only for the best and brightest, but I say put a hammer in the hands of the willing and see what happens. What do ye say, then, lass? Will ye swing a hammer for old Brethail? Haha, I knew I liked ye the moment I set eyes on ye. What did you say your name was again? Crodocor. A name fit for a hero if I ever heard one. In fact, I reckon I did hear it in a bard's song once, or was it that poor sod cursing it in his cups at the wench? Bah, don't matter if I was saving the world or cuckolding your husband. 'Tis time to forge yourself a new reputation, pound out a new legend, and ye can trust old Brethail to help ye do it. But there I go, putting the cart before the chocobo. Here, lass, take this cross-peen hammer. A smithy without a hammer is like me without a drink, bloody useless. Well, don't just stand there gawping at her. Take her in your hands, have a few practice swings, whatever you fancy. She's all yours now. What I wouldn't give to be you right now, lass. A smithy never forgets his first hammer. Sniff. Blacksmith unlocked. Weathered cross-peen hammer. Blacksmith is going to go up 1, and we are going to put blacksmith on 7. It will go 2, 2, 4. It'll go 1, 2. Sound a hammer and bring you in from the street, did it? Well said, lass. Now we should cover a bit of guild history before forging ahead with the formalities. The armorer's craft is an offshoot of blacksmithing. Time was when armorers and smithies were one and the same. But as the years trickled by, the techniques for working sheet metal into armor plates became a specialized trade, and the smithies who showed uncommon skill and passion for this trade earned themselves the title of armorer. Now, as you can probably imagine, skills necessary for making armor are also needed for shipbuilding. But building ships is a bit harder than knocking out simple helms, which led those armorers who were good enough to work on boats to claim the title of shipwright. Of course, it was one thing calling armorers blacksmiths and shipwrights armorers, but it was quite another calling shipwrights blacksmiths, because building a ship and making a hatchet couldn't be more different. It seemed as though a line needed drawn, and seeing as how Limsa Lominsa was built on the strength of her navy, you can imagine why the armorers chose to cut their ties with the smithies and established a guild of their own. As for the smithies, well, the whole notion of an independent armorers guild never did sit well with them, and there's been a fair old rivalry between our two factions ever since, always trying to outdo each other we are, which is why we're ever on the lookout for new talent to help us keep the smithy bastards in their place. All you need to do is impress the Forge Master, and we can start you on your training. Be warned, Forge Master Nanza's tongue could strip the scales off a fishback at 40 paces. Saying that, you won't find a fairer mistress this side of the Strait of Merlthor. Let me know when you've mustered the courage to speak with her, and I'll see to the rest. Then it's time you made yourself known to the Forge Master. There's no empty title, by the way. Nanza's renowned shipwright and one of the finest crafters in Limsa Lominsa. Head outside and you'll find her blistering the skins of our newest initiates. Another aspiring armorer, are you? Welcome. I am Nanza, Forge Master of this guild. I take it Guanako has explained to you the history and nature of our craft. Good. I have little to add on that front, save this. The life of an armorer is not an easy one. Day after day you will pit flesh and blood against iron and flame, and without a passion for the forge you will fail. But passion alone will not make an armorer of you. To truly master this craft, you must be possessed of a will as unyielding as the metals you work. Knowing what lies before you, have you the fortitude to persevere? Ha, I see you have no fear of hard work. That is well. Consider your request to join the guild approved. But if you ever give me aught less than your best, you will be out the door before you realize my boot is connected with your backside. Are we clear on that? Good. Now that we understand each other, let us begin with the basics. What is your name? Corrado? Very well, Corrado. This tool is called a doming hammer. Here, grip it firmly. Note its weight. Let me know when you feel comfortable with it in your hand. I'll tell you if you're holding it properly. here, we're gonna go to lower Limsa, Lominsa, lower decks. So now from here we can go to Fisherman's Bottom there. So this way. And down here, I believe. Well, wishing welcome to you, adventurer's friend. You've worked your way to Fisherman's Bottom. When you want fish for just a day, you can call a culinarian, but we fishermen feast for life. I've set the bait. Think you're ready to bite? Hooray, hooray. Looks like we've got a live one. Let me walk you through the life of a fisherman in Limsa Lominsa. Since we're surrounded by the seas, the fishing sites are a fisherman's delight. If you can't fish it here, you can't fish it anywhere. While some of us rope our fish in with rods and reels, others skim the seabed with nets for creepy crawly critters. You might say we cast a wide net. People prattle about our pullers just about everywhere in Limsa. And there's much and more I haven't mentioned. We shepherd the ships, preside over the ports, manage the mongers, all while making sure not to leave any adventurers out to sea. I'll wager you prefer to work alone, so we'll start you off with the rod and reel. Now, you may not necessarily net the numbers net fishing yields, but pole fishing positively pulls prettier prizes. And that's the long and short of it. When you're ready for another bite of bait, I'll reel you in before the guildmaster. I'd hate to hear you had to change a heart. You haven't, have you? Spoken truly like a true bespoke fisherman woman. Well then, it's time you met the guildmaster. But unfortunately, and somewhat ironically, our nefarious netmaster is out fishing at the moment. This moment and every moment, that is. So Sissy-Poo tends to tend to tasks that require tending to, such as deciding whether you'll sink or swim with our guild. Sissy-Poo's presiding over those pools. Whenever you decided to say hello, she might seem somewhat standoffish, but she's only keeping an eye out for sharks. Be yourself, and you have nothing to worry about. Sissy-Poo. Yes, save your breath. I heard every word between you and Nemolika, so I know she told you my role here. As she said, Wawalego's supposed to be guildmaster, but apparently he has bigger fish to fry, so all his work falls to me. That includes making sure our new fish aren't shellfish, idiots, or potential anemones. You've passed the first test by not laughing at that awful joke. Now you only need the right answer to this question. Are you prepared to fish like you've never fished before? Yes. Well, you're smarter than the majority of bottom dwellers that find their way here. Welcome to the guild. Now, this wouldn't be much of a guild if we sent you out to sea with only a pole and a prayer, so I suppose I could spare you a few pearls of wisdom. Nevertheless, you're still going to need that pole and prayer, so I can at least provide you with the former. Here you go. One out of two isn't bad. I'll even throw in these lugworms, since you're not like to get far without bait. The rods we bestow upon our new fish are priceless objects, which is to say they don't cost anything. Once you know what you're doing, you'll probably want a proper one. But in the meantime, let's see if you can figure out how to hold your pole. Ready the one I gave you, and your lesson can begin. Let's go Fisher. Fisherman. Fisher is last. Set to hot bar. This way. There's not behind these convent doors for a worldly type like you, missus. We're the dutiful sisters of the Edelweiss, all pure and saintly now bugger off. Hang about. Ain't you that lass as goes by the name o' Corrado? Huh, I knew it. We'd like to snilch all the rising talent, and from what I hear, yet you're head and shoulders above the rest. If you can handle yourself half as well as they say, you might well be of use to us. Ah, forget all that, sisters of the Edelweiss bollocks. That's just a bit of fun to fall off the curious culls. We're a guild of rogues, lass, and it's mainly our marks as does the praying. Me and mine work in the shadows of Limpsa, taking a keen edge to the rooks and cacklers what have earned themselves millin. We don't tout for members. But every now and again we might offer a promising young cove a place in the ranks. If you even interest in joining us, tip us your daddy's daddles and we'll put a hilt in each one, just like the gods intended. So what do you say? Fancy learning a new trade? Good to see you're keen, but I should probably warn ye on a few points before you dive in. Where most guilds take pride in turning their members into the best bloody candlestick makers they can be, we only care about getting the job done. And the job ain't pretty. You become one of us and you'll soon be neck deep in scum and knife fights. So if you're looking to scamper across rooftops and bilk dandles, oh, they're blunt, dandies, oh, they're blunt, you'd best take up with a different crew. Think on that and come back if you're still keen. I didn't scare ye off then. Bene, they told me ye was a meddlesome lass, and so it's proved. You'll need every ounce that metal soon enough. Now step inside and have a prattle with Jack. He's our upright man, the master of the guild. I'm the one they call Jack, though I'm surprised you've heard of me. Perhaps you'd be good enough to tell me your name, along with that o' the kindly cove as told you mine. Ah, the famous Crotto. Old Lonnie Left Patch let you in, did he? He can't throw a blade for shite, but that one eye don't miss not when it comes to sizing up a dimmer mort for the stallin'. Just one thing, ye ain't a pirate, are ye? Well then, it's time ye was stalled to the rogue. Pull on your best beater cases, and I'll swear ye in meself when you're ready. Now, I could fill your wattles with the storied history of our guild, but that's just whiz and wind. The most important thing, the only thing we care about is getting the job done. Now, most folk, and I'm assuming you're among 'em, know that not long after Limsa's founding, the city was overrun by a motley collection of pirates and thieves. But as wild as that lot were, it soon became clear that they'd all end up killing each other if they didn't lay down a few rules, an unspoken code of conduct, as it were. One, you don't bite the purses your fellow Leminsons. Two, you don't rook a crew out of their spoils. And three, you don't trade culls like they was chattel. I'll admit the finer points of the code are a mite murky, but most agree on those three at least. Now, you might be thinking none of that amounts to a sack of dillberries. Now, the admirals outlawed piracy, but in the back alleys and black markets where Merle Wibb's grip ain't so tight, the code's still alive and well. And just as the law is enforced by the Yellow Jackets, the code is regulated by us rogues. We go where the shadows are darkest and hand out justice to them as break the code. Some rum-soaked cove steals goods from the wrong cull, and we steal 'em back. That's the job, my natty lass. Of course, we don't hop the twig when blade work's called for, neither. You'll see there's more to our dagger play than just sticking culls with the pointy end. We'll weaken a mark with poison, fade away, and strike in the darkmans, whatever it takes to get the work done. Well, Crotto, what do you say to this? Got the guts to do a rogue's job? Alright then, first off, we'll have to get your kit sorted out. A rogue needs to be light on her dew-beaters to stay on a mark's trail. The job might have you fighting across the deck or weaving through a mob, and the last thing you want is a bleeding great battle axe what hooks itself on every rope and post. That's why we stick to daggers. They let you slip through the streets just as easily as they slip through a rook's ribs. Here, take these stabbers and let's see how they look on you. Just don't get so excited with your new toys that ye forget to dress for the role. You'd be surprised at how many colts come back to me in their bloody small clothes. Rogue unlocked. Rogue. Move up. 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 And up. So we'll put rogue. Gladiator, Marauder, Dark Knight, Gunbreaker, Pugilist, Pugilist, Lancer, Rogue. So let's see, Fisherman's. I already attuned that, let's go attune to this. Ayo, Leek, how you doing? Thanks for stopping by. What is up, my friend? How you doing this fine evening? Grab that, and then I think it's just Arcanus Guild left. And that should get me all the Aetheryte. Aethernet, I guess. Which it did, yes. And Arcanus Guild. Welcome to the Arcanist Guild. It is here that we research and develop the field of Arcanuma. Arcanuma is the science of employing arcane geometries, intricate patterns that map the unlocked mysteries of existence, to draw forth and manipulate the body's etheric energies. You finished Armored Core and now you're thinking about what content niche I want to dive into with my channel. Nice, nice. So how did you like Armored Core? Was it good? If you prefer an arcane art built on structured thought and precise reasoning, then your discerning intellect may find a home here at our guild. Might you consider enrolling yourself as an initiate? Armored Core was excellent. Good, good. I have it on my list to play. I just haven't gotten around to it. I have not played any other Armored Core games before, though, so it would be a first. Damn, I gotta go back to Armored Core 6. Hey yo, Ed Bull, how you doing today? Thanks for stopping by. What is going on, my friend? Just as I predicted, before we proceed any further, I got stuck with that damn boss that everyone gets stuck on. Must be a challenge then. However, let us first feed your appetite for knowledge with a morsel of guild history. The roots of Arcanuma can be traced back to the esoteric calculations practiced by the people of the South Sea Isles. It was these island folk that first discovered a method to express natural phenomena in mathematical terms. Building on this process, the existing mathematical formulae were further developed into arcane geometries, precise patterns that allowed a practitioner to weave aether into specific magical effects. The mages who invoked this new form of magic became known as Arcanists, and the school of Arcanimo was born. I was expecting to get stuck there, but I beat him third try. I watched my friend fight him like 30 plus times, so I knew going in I was gonna need to lock on. I think Baltius was his name. Many such mages, wishing to expand their understanding of the world, took to the seas aboard trading vessels. Upon their arrival in Limsa Lominsa, Arcanists found themselves welcomed into the academic elite and soon secured positions in the realms of governance and council. Oh, Baltius fucked me up. I just stopped. Need to go back. Armored Core 6 is really cool. I keep reading Assassin's Creed every time I see AC6 or AC6. Sorry, AC is also Assassin's Creed. It is also Ace Combat. The knowledge of an arcanist, however, is traditionally passed on from master chosen disciple. As such, Admiral Merlweb, counting several wielders of Arcanima among her personal staff, became concerned that this exclusionary practice would lead to the eventual extinction of the art. So, at the Admiral's express orders, an official Arcanist Guild was established, and funding was provided for research and training. The complex and demanding nature of Arcanima, however, remains the greatest threat to its own future. If you invite such cerebral challenges, then you have to reaffirm your commitment to joining our guild. Well, have you decided to enroll in our guild, or are you now intimidated by the thought of excessive thinking? Your sound judgment is to be commended. Now, standard practice dictates that I introduce you to our guildmaster, that you might convey your intentions in person. Due to extraordinary circumstances, however, he is unreachable at present. Instead, you may speak with Mistress Thubergun. She has shouldered full responsibility for the guild's leadership in the interim. You will find her just over there by the bookshelves. You needn't be shy. I don't see her. Though her mind is sharp and critical, her manner is always most welcoming. Yes, I am Thubergun. Greetings and welcome to the Arcanist Guild. As Muri has doubtlessly explained, I am serving as acting guildmaster until our wayward leader deigns to return. I assume our capable receptionist also spoke of our art's origins. Allow me, then, to expound upon its nature. Arcanima taps into the living energies of aether. The evidence of this is represented most aptly, perhaps, by our ability to manifest the arcane entity Carbuncle, and the manner of magics which this ethereal ally employs at our command. The core of the discipline, however, is found in the pursuit of definitive solutions to any potential quandary, even on the field of battle, nay, especially on the field of battle. This principle takes precedence. If one wishes to make certain the question of victory, then one must apply the most effective strategy. An arcanist is measured by her ability to calmly analyze a situation from moment to moment and respond with the most appropriate spells at hand. The study of Arcanima will test your mental faculties to the point of perplexity. Are you prepared to reason your way through predicament after predicament? An unambiguous response, the kind I most prefer. Let us now see if the clarity of your words is matched by the sharpness of your mind. Here, take this grimoire in hand, and we shall next judge your aptitude for our discipline. Arcanist unlocked. Weathered grimoire. And Arcanist. That is at the bottom. So this is going to go on 7. Thaumaturge, Arcanist. So now we need to go to the Aetheryte Plaza. Straight ahead this way to the Gridanian Envoy. Greetings, madam, and welcome to our fair city. If you would permit me to examine the seal on the missive you carry. I should probably put on my good class for the experience from this. Greetings, madam, and hand over. Yes, everything seems to be in order. My apologies. We cannot afford to be complacent, you understand. Please step this way.
Enter. I did not expect the Gridanian envoy to be an adventurer. It speaks highly of your character that the Elder Seedseer would choose an outsider to represent her nation's interests. This way. I bid you welcome. I am Melve Blufisvin, Admiral of Limsa Lominsa, and Commander of the Maelstrom. Now, what news from the Black Shroud?
She said her name like it was nothing. A memorial service to honor the fallen. Seven Hells, has it been 5 years? 5 years since the Garlean Empire sought to wrest Eorzea from our grasp. It was in answer to the imperial threat that the city-states formed the Grand Companies and forged the Eorzean alliance anew. But Garlemald was not content to wager all on a simple contest of martial might. They had other plans, the Meteor Project. Legatus Nael Van Darnus, Hell's Take Him, intended to cleanse our realm by snatching the lesser moon, Dalamud, from the heavens and casting it down upon our heads. Desperate to prevent this lunatic scheme, we marched our forces to the Cardinal Flats, and there met the Vilf Imperial Legion in battle. Never have I seen a fight like the Battle of Carteneau, and I have seen full many. But though we gave no quarter, spared not 1 ounce of effort, we could not prevent what followed. From inside the shell of Dalamud came a winged nightmare, a dragon the size of a bloody city. 'Twas the elder primal Bahamut, bent on making an 8th hell of Eorzea. In the space of a breath, the legions of the Empire were set aflame, while our own armies fared little better. 'Twas as if the whole world was burning. Words cannot well describe the scene, and yet, by some miracle, a few among us were spared. Even as I steeled myself for death, a blinding white light enveloped me, robbing me of my senses. When I regained them, the dragon was gone, and the still smoldering land was warped beyond all knowing. Were Archon Louisoix still with us, he would doubtless shed some light on these unfathomable happenings. Alas, he is not, and I fear we will want for his wisdom in the days to come. For while our nation struggled to recover from the devastation, the beastmen call forth their damned primals to torment us anew. Unless we put aside our differences and rebuild now, our foes will catch us unprepared. And I speak not only of the beastmen. Do not imagine that the Empire has forsaken its claim on Eorzea. The Imperials crowd our borders, waiting to strike. Damn it all, we need champions to replace those we lost. But such thoughts are worse than worthless. Time is short, and none will save us, save ourselves. It is the duty of every soul who survived the calamity to work together for the good of Eorzea, and this memorial service may be the very thing to unite us. I, Connie Senna, has the right of it. I accept her proposal. Your duty is done here, adventurer. I will see to it that the Elder Seedseer receives my reply. You travel next to Ul'dah, yes? Pray give my regards to General Raubahn. Oh, and tell him the wolf has been sniffing around the stables, a private jest, and one in poor taste, but I would have you tell it all the same. Fare you well, Corrado. May the navigator guide you on your journey. Greetings, madam. This is the counter for passengers traveling to Ul'dah. A pleasure to serve you again, madam. Are you ready to board the airship to Ul'dah? We are ready. Let's go. This is a small airship. Damn thing's hardly big enough for me to stand on it. Ah, you must be the envoy from Gridania. Welcome to Ul'dah, madam. The Flame General awaits your arrival. Welcome to Ul'dah, madam. We have been expecting you. Flame General Raubahn will receive you in the fragrant chamber. Please take the lift down to the hustings strip and speak with Bartholomew at the Royal Promenade. Alchemist Guild. I did not mean to go downstairs. This way. Ah, an adventurer, one of my favorite kinds of people. I find your unquenchable thirst for exploration neatly complements the burning hunger for sagacity that marks our dedicated members. Welcome to the Alchemist's Guild. Though I hesitate to define alchemy in such narrow terms, our main field of expertise is the concoction of various potions and elixirs. There are salves to treat all manner of afflictions, not to mention miraculous libations that enhance the imbiber beyond her natural physical limits. As an adventurer, I am sure you can appreciate the eminently practical applications of our work. What say you, madam? Care to take up mortar and pestle and join our ranks? Wonderful. Now then, allow me to give you a brief history of the guild before we tackle the official paperwork. Though alchemists are presently known as the quintessential brewers of potions, the profession itself arose from the desire to achieve an as yet unrealized ambition. The original driving purpose behind our art was, and perhaps still is, the discovery of a process that can transform base metals into gold or silver, and the mystical medium thought necessary to effect such a transformation is the Philosopher's Stone, which is itself believed to have Panacean properties and be capable of bestowing eternal life, though success yet eludes us. Years of endless experimentation towards this golden goal had the initially unintentional consequence of unearthing a wealth of knowledge in the field of alchemical medicine. Regretfully, alchemy's potential to enrich the lives of the masses was first met with a wave of distrust, as if our ability to create helpful compounds was akin to dabbling in back-alley witchcraft. The profession eventually gained credibility in Ul'dah through its integration into traditional medicine by Frondale's Frontistery, an institution known for producing respected physicians. Once the city's shift in perception became known, budding alchemists wishing to study without fear of persecution journeyed to Ul'dah from every corner of the realm. It was not long before this gathering of inquisitive minds banded together to form the Alchemist's Guild. Thus, while our organization is intensely focused on perfecting and sharing the fruits of our research, it is also of paramount importance that we uphold the reputation of alchemy itself as a legitimate discipline. If you would revel in the secrets of our art, then you must be prepared to shoulder the responsibility I've described. Take a moment to dwell on these words before you truly enter the world of alchemy. Have you arrived at a decision? Are you ready to exalt in the arts of alchemy and commit to the responsibilities that your enrollment entails. Excellent. Then allow me to direct you to our guildmaster. Gaining his approval is the last test you must pass before becoming a full member of the guild. You will find Guildmaster Severian tending to his experiments at his personal workbench. I must warn you, he is a rather intense individual. Pray choose your words with care. What? What is it this time? Ah, you must be the merchant's lackey. Come to bring me my imp-wings. Let's have them then. Not a lackey? An aspiring alchemist, did you say? Speak up and pray that I heard you awry. Did that babbling fool Dietrich send you to me? I specifically requested that I be disturbed for nothing less than the coming of a second calamity. Do I appear as a kindly mentor to you? My research demands my absolute and undivided attention. Now be gone before I am forced to... But wait, perhaps I can. Yes, you may be the very assistant I require. I have had a change of heart. Congratulations. I approve your application to the guild. It is with great pleasure that I welcome a fellow seeker of knowledge into the fold. We can dispense with the interminable initiation ceremony. Yes, here is your first alembic. Try not to drop it, for there is much more work to be done. Yes, much work. Alchemist unlocked. Above culinarian. Nothing else on this floor. Next floor. Gladiators Guild, right here. Welcome to the Gladiators Guild, adventurer. Here our members train tirelessly with sword and shield so that their names might one day be written legend. Was that a flash of interest in your eyes? If you wish to study swordplay, know that admission to the guild is free of charge. I had marked you as a woman of action. I am pleased to see that I was not wrong. Now, while you may be familiar with the deadly dance of battle, you are new to us, and must begin at the beginning. If you would take your place in these hallowed halls, you must be willing and ready to undergo the most rigorous training. You must endure cuts and bruises beyond counting, and like as not, far worse. A daunting prospect, I concede, but there is no other way if you mean to take to the blood sands one day. And why wouldn't you? The Colosseum is only the most celebrated place of public entertainment in all of Ul'dah. Where else could a poor man amass a fortune so vast as to one day allow him to claim a seat on the syndicate. There's not an Ulden alive who isn't inspired by the rise of the self-made man, and there is no truer embodiment of that dream than the gladiator who wins riches and fame with his sword. Throughout its long and storied history, this guild has nurtured countless champions. Our training methods are second to none, and our members ever strive to develop new techniques. If you desire true glory, to fight in triumph amidst the roar of 10,000 voices, then this is where you belong, adventurer. Think of it. Think of your legacy, and if your soul stirs, join us. I did not do alchemist. Alchemist just before culinarian, which is this one. What will it be? Will you rise above the masses and inscribe your name in legend, or will you resign yourself to mediocrity and die in obscurity? A decision you shan't regret. One moment. Make way for Corrado Culver. Fresh meat coming through. Now then, before your enrollment can be considered complete, you must present yourself to First Sword Milla. Seek her out and obtain her approval. Aye, I heard Lulutsu, so you're Corrado Core. 'Tis a good strong name. On behalf of the Gladiators Guild, allow me to welcome you. I am Milla, Guildmaster here. So, you wish to study our arts. I assume you have your reasons for choosing the sword over all other weapons. Perhaps you think it easiest to learn. A sword is a simple weapon, but to wield a blade well is anything but simple. For every Colosseum champion to emerge from our ranks, there have been countless disappointments who failed to achieve greatness. Bear that in mind before you answer me, Corrado, for I do not ask this question lightly. Have you the strength to live by the sword, and if it be your fate, die by it? Yes. Then welcome, Gladiator, to your new home. Take this sword. There are many like it, but this one is yours now. Consider it a gift if you like. Now wear it on your hip as I do, and show me you are ready to begin your training. Gladiator unlocked. Sword. Gladiator is the very first. Something. No. Reassign set number to 1. No. To 1. Oh, damn it. Gladiator, Marauder. Gladiator, set hotbar. No. There. Now we can go from here. This is the market section. We have Goldsmith down there. This way. Goldsmith. Good morrow to you, adventurer, and welcome to the Goldsmiths Guild. Have you come to observe our artisans at work? Indeed, it is a marvel to watch goldsmiths transform raw metals and uncut gemstones into sparkling rings, earrings, and necklaces. Some of which possess magical properties, no less. You know, if you'd like to try your hand at goldsmithing, the guild is open to adventurers like yourself. No prior experience is required, for we teach all you need to know about the craft. Would you be interested? It pleases me greatly to hear you say so. As the first step, I would have you understand the purpose of our guild. The vast mineral resources of Thanalan have given rise to a grand goldsmithing tradition, which has been refined through the ages. Our techniques are renowned across the realm, our creations held in the highest regard. However, we of Eshtime's lapidaries, the premier source for Alden jewelry, were not content to rest on our laurels. Seeking to advance our craft, we turned our eyes to the east, the only place in the known world whose goldsmithing was said to rival our own. We built the finest facilities to beckon their masters hither, and blended their foreign techniques with ours. Our guild quickly became the center of Eorzean goldsmithing. Aye, here you shall benefit from the refined wisdom of countless veteran craftsmen. You will learn to see the potential in your materials and shape them to your will. These are essential skills, for a goldsmith must hone his eyes to identify and appraise all manner of materials, and when needs be, recognize imitations for what they are. It is even said that a master goldsmith can ascertain the authenticity of a man himself. You may one day come to possess such vision, but even the most magnificent jewel begins life as a rough-hewn stone. It must first be cut and polished before it can delight the eyes with its brilliance. If you would become a goldsmith, you must needs refine yourself as you would a gemstone. It will take much time and effort, and there is no guarantee of success. Should you be certain that this is the life you seek, speak to me once more. Before you can embark on your journey to become a goldsmith, you must first seek an audience with our guildmaster. Are you ready to do so? You shall find Mistress Serendipity on the workshop floor, just down the steps. Show her your burning desire to learn, and you are certain to receive her permission to join. Stop right there, you little troublemaker. People are working here. Oh, pardon me, I had you mistaken for a mammoth for a moment there. Let's start over, shall we? What brings you here today, adventurer? Do you perchance have aspirations to become a goldsmith? Really? That's great. Welcome, welcome. I'm Serendipity, but you can call me Sarah. Or is that too informal? Sorry, I'm still unaccustomed to this whole guildmaster business. Right. What did you say your name was again? Adrian? Oh, right. Cradocor. Well then, Cradocor, work hard, and one day your creations may line the shelves at Eshtime's Aesthetics. Trust in yourself, and you can achieve anything. That was sufficiently inspiring, I trust. Good. Next order of business. Here's your new chaser hammer. Well, I say new, but it's actually a bit weathered. But never you mind that. Just show me that you know how to hold it so we can get started. Goldsmith is low armor. the Miners Guild. Well met, adventurer. You stand within the Miners Guild, the place where Seeker of the Realm's mineral wealth gather. With pickaxe and sledgehammer, we miners work rock and earth that they might yield us ores, fossils, precious stones, and more. If you have a mind to join our ranks, you will be pleased to know that we are currently recruiting. Great riches await those with strong backs and keen eyes. A decision you will not regret. You have just taken your first step toward striking it rich. To look at the lands around Ul'dah, one would be forgiven for thinking the region barren of opportunity, but beneath the surface, the scene could not be more different. There lie veins of copper, silver, and gold beyond measure. For as long as he has dwelt in Thanalan, man has availed himself of these vast deposits, giving rise to a thriving mining trade, which forms the foundation of our nation's prosperity. Of course, the mining trade as it is today owes much to an event which took place some century and a half ago, namely the Mad Mithril Rush. Never before had the Sultanate seen such an influx of migrants. Endless throngs came from lands near and far, spurred on by the dream of discovering the motherlode. Alas, a harsh reality awaited them. You see, the vast majority of these poor souls were miners in name alone, and they possessed neither the proper equipment nor the training to realize their dreams. To make matters worse, the mining concerns, who in those days held absolute power, did not scruple to exploit them. Presented with a glut of unskilled labor, they proceeded to fill every tunnel to bursting, and atrocious working conditions soon became the norm. Miners were paid a pittance for backbreaking labor and saw naught of the riches they unearthed. Pushed to breaking point, the workers banded together to form the Miners Guild, with the aim of improving conditions while protecting the integrity of the trade. Since then, we have sought to educate folk in correct mining practices, both to prevent accidents and to curb the impact that our trade has upon the environment. I trust you now have a better understanding of what we do. All that is left is to commit your name to our role. When you are ready to do so, pray speak with me again. I shall guide you through the enrollment procedure. So, are you ready to join the Miners Guild? Music to my ears, I, the kind made when one's pickaxe strikes gold. You must introduce yourself to Guildmaster Adalberta right away. Her approval is required if you are to be formally admitted to our ranks. In case you're unaware, Adalberta is perhaps the most accomplished of those miners who still swing a pickaxe. Her understanding of our trade is unsurpassed, and her flair for prospecting uncanny. Her brain, in short, is a veritable gold mine of knowledge, much of it concerning the mining of gold. Haha, jesting apart, you stand to learn a great deal from her. When you are ready, pray present yourself to Adalberta. You will find her down the steps yonder, over by the bar. Well met, adventurer. Adalberta is my name, and I'm the master of this guild. I take it you wish to become a miner. Well, our doors are open to all who aren't afraid to work hard and get dirty. Thanks to recent advances in refining techniques, it's now possible to smelt even low-purity ores. I mention this because it's allowed us to reopen a number of mines which were long thought exhausted, prompting trade to flourish. Truth be told, with business as it is at the moment, we can't take on enough new miners, and few folk make better miners than adventurers, you being a hardy lot. What's more, you're well-traveled, which serves to expand the guild's sphere of activity. Oh, but I'm not suggesting you join solely for our benefit. For your part, you'll acquire skills that will prove to your profit, a mutually beneficial arrangement. I trust you'll agree, so what say you? You will join us, yes? Then I bid you welcome to the Miners Guild. May your toils never go unrewarded. Now then, here's a pickaxe to get you started. It's not the newest, but it should serve a novice well enough. Go on and take it up, see how it feels in your hands. Speak to me again when you're ready, and I'll assign you a little task to help you get into the swing of things. Miner. Miner is above Fisher. Greetings, adventurer, and welcome to the wellspring of olden fashion. From humble thread, our peerless artisans weave wonders, dreams, in fabric form. We are renowned as Eorzea's finest purveyors of quality textiles, and as her foremost arbiters of style. Needless to say, such renown was not won without effort. Ours is a tremendously demanding profession, you see, but also a highly rewarding one. It is little wonder that so many adventurers have set their hearts upon joining us. Might you be one of them? Ah, I thought as much. Then I'm sure you're eager to learn all about our illustrious history. As I'm sure you know, Thanalan can be a perilous place, its vast deserts being wont to punish the unprepared, while a menagerie of ferocious beasts stalk the sands. The greatest foe is, of course, the midday sun. And so, ever since man first set foot in this region, he has favored light, flowing fabrics that shield him from the sun's rays, while allowing his skin to breathe. Of course, Oldens have ever been a people of taste, and demand for more extravagant designs spurred innovation, resulting in textile goods whose appeal extended far beyond our borders. Merchants had little trouble selling olden fabrics in foreign markets, so great was their reputation for beauty and quality, and when traders from those same markets sought to peddle their lesser products in Thanalan, well, it gave us little cause for concern. Sunsilk Tapestries is synonymous with the textile trade in Ul'dah. You see, those who come here hoping to peddle cheap rags swiftly learn the price of doing business in our territory. Wiser men and women with an interest in our trade choose instead to join the guild, which the company generously operates for the betterment of olden society. We offer our members the tools and techniques needed to become successful, and should they prove themselves especially skilled, they may even be offered direct employment as sunsilk weavers. Just imagine, adventurer, your designs could one day dictate the course of olden fashion. If you desire such fame and influence, then you might be granted a place with us, provided that you are willing to embrace hard work. To ensure candidates can endure the rigors of our profession, our guildmaster has taken upon himself to evaluate each one personally. When you are ready to submit yourself to this rigorous scrutiny, say the word. Are you ready to meet the guildmaster? First impressions are everything, and you do not want to present yourself poorly. Excellent, though I do wonder if your attire is appropriate for the occasion. You will find the esteemed Redolent Rose supervising guild operations over yonder. He is, how shall I put this? He is relentless in his pursuit of excellence. So long as you demonstrate that you are similarly committed, he will treat you fairly and with respect. What do we have here? Another adventurer in search of thrills and excitement? Shall I dance you a merry jig? No. Well, if this fails to please you, I suggest you run along. Perhaps the women of the Ruby Road Exchange will be more to your liking. Oh, so you mean to become a weaver? Then we have something to discuss after all. I shall be blunt. Weaving is an art, and like all true artists, we must make sacrifices and suffer for our craft. So tell me, adventurer, are you prepared to suffer? So you say, but only time will tell. In any case, you'll need equipment to get started. This needle should suffice for now. I need not explain what a needle is, I trust. Good, then hold it as you would when sewing, and show me you're ready to begin. So we got Weaver now, Rusty Needle, great new gear set. Weaver is above Alchemist, but below Goldsmith. I think I forgot about some of my blacksmith armor. I did not put goldsmith on here. Leather worker, weaver. Goldsmith, leather worker, weaver, alchemist. Oh, wait. Fisher, botanist, miner, culinarian, alchemist, weaver. Leather worker, goldsmith, okay. Miner, I did not put on. Fisher, botanist, miner. So now we will go to old Steppes of Nald, where I have one more Adventurers Guild. 2 more jobs and 1 more Aetheryte. 2 more Aetheryte. 3 Aetheryte. Now we have Pugilist right here. Greetings and welcome to the Pugilist Guild. We pugilists are specialists in hand-to-hand combat. Through rigorous training, we forge devastating weapons of our fists and feet, which we employ to great effect in battle. There is no better place in all the realm to train in our discipline than here. If you would walk the path of the pugilist, I highly recommend you add your name to our roll. What say you, friend? A decision you'll not regret, but before we proceed to the paperwork, it is essential that you know something of our guild's storied past. Since time immemorial, man has used whatever has been at his disposal to settle disputes. In the beginning, that meant fighting with his fists. Such hand-to-hand combat existed in various forms throughout Eorzea, each evolving independently of one another. The origins of pugilism, as we know it, however, can be traced back to the staging of bare-handed bouts at the Colosseum. These contests attracted fighters from far and wide, bringing their myriad styles crashing together on the blood sands. Amidst this chaotic intermingling of styles, there rose a pugilist of singular strength and skill. This woman made it her life's mission to master every form she encountered, that she might refine her art. Among her many song-worthy exploits, we pugilists remember her participation in a gladiator tournament most fondly, back when bare-handed fighting was still seen as a pastime for peasants. She took on fully armed and armored gladiators, and effortlessly bested the lot of them. Word of her feat spread across the realm like wildfire, of course, and Ul'dah swiftly transformed into a center of pugilism, with people flocking from all over to train under this master among masters. The woman's name was Cornelia, and it is to her that the Pugilist Guild owes its existence. The art practiced here is based on her all-encompassing style, and this training hall is modeled upon the one which she once built. And there it is, a brief history of our guild. I've told this tale 1,000 times, but gods, it never fails to fan the flames of my fighting spirit. Now then, before we can proceed with your enrollment, you must first obtain the guildmaster's approval. Let me know when you are ready to meet him. Master Hamon is among the greatest pugilists of our time. For long years, the man ruled the Blood Sands as the Holy Fist, though he has since retired in favor of training aspiring fighters. You will find him overseeing his charges yonder. Go now and show to him the fighting spirit that burns within you. Haha, past time you got your arse beat back here. Well, what did the dancer have to say about my proposition? You're not my errand boy. There's no dancer. There never was. I'm not doing anything indecent, I swear to the gods. What? You're here to enroll? Oh ho ho, well, why didn't you say so sooner? In my capacity as guildmaster, I would be glad to give you a primer on the art of hand-to-hand combat. Doubtless you already know this, but we pugilists fight with our fists and feet. While these don't deal as much damage as a blade, it hardly matters when you can land several blows for each swing of the sword. What we lack in destructive force, we more than make up for in speed and cunning. Under my guidance, not only will you master striking techniques, you'll also learn to string them together to deliver an endless flurry of blows. Only through such fierce combinations can a pugilist realize his potential. Yarr. Cough, wheeze. Crikey, I'm spent from all this talking. You ought to speak more, lass. It'd give me a chance to catch my breath, but where was I? Ah, right, joining the guild. Before you do so, I must warn you that the path of the pugilist is long and arduous. Do you believe you've got what it takes to go the distance? Be honest with yourself now. Yes, you have fighting spirit. I can see it in your eyes. I see no reason to deny you a place in these halls. Welcome to the guild, lass. To help you on your way, I'll add some names to your hunting log, opponents that you might hone your skills against, and so as to make a budding pugilist out of you. Here's your very own pair of Hora. They're a tad old and rusted, but that'll serve to make you look meaner, I reckon. Now I have a mind to assign you your first lesson. Arm yourself with your weapons and let me know when you're ready to begin. Pugilist of Rogue. Gladiator, Marauder, Dark Knight, Gunbreaker, Pugilist. And then we have one left in this city. One left in this city, and then we have a whole nother city to deal with. I did not so I have Conjurer. I don't have Arcanist. Wait, do I? I do have Arcanist. What level is level 18? Welcome to the Thaumaturgist Guild. It is fate that has guided your steps here, friend. Within these hallowed halls, the arts of devastation are taught, primeval magics with which to bring about an enemy's ruin. If you would join our ranks and wield the power of thaumaturgy, I urge you to seize this moment and confide in me your arcane ambitions. Yes, there truly was no other answer, was there? Lean closer now, and I shall whisper to you of thaumaturgy's beginnings. The nation of Ul'dah inherited its traditions from ancient Belladia, a city founded by the descendants of the first mages. The secrets of these illustrious sorcerers were ultimately entrusted to the priests of the Order of Naltha, who have passed them down from generation to generation ever since, focused and refined over centuries of use in the Order's funereal rites. The arcane magics of our ancestors eventually emerged as the art we now know as thaumaturgy. A freezing blizzard to halt corruption, a raging fire to cleanse the corpse, a bolt of lightning to expel the sins of mortal life. The Dwemmers employed in the preparation of the dead are equally efficacious when applied to the living. Thus does our guild thrive in the depths of Arzaneth Ossuary, a sanctuary devoted to Thal, the divine arbiter of the afterlife. What say you, then, adventurer? If you would plumb the abyssal depths of thaumaturgy, let our learned sages guide your descent. But before you leap into the darkness, you must prove to our guildmasters that you are possessed of the spiritual fortitude necessary to look upon that which waits therein. When you are ready to submit to the judgment of our most eminent mages, say the word. Well, adventurer, will you join our guild, or do you presume to ignore the urgings of impatient destiny? A wise decision, indeed. To prepare for your initiation, I would have you study the volumes of fundamental thaumaturgical principle, all 108 of them, or at least I would if such requirements had not been abolished. Too great a deterrent to fresh novices, they said. I suppose you shall just have to settle for calling upon the collective wisdom of our guild masters. We have 5, you see, all brothers of the same house, though they all wield supreme authority. It is the eldest who provides a singular voice for the guild when one is required. Master Kokobigo, I believe. Who? What? Oh, Thal's teeth, miss. Did your mother never tell you not to startle a thaumaturge? Look at that expectant face, Kokobigo. This lady is obviously a new applicant for the guild seeking audience with our eldest brother. Oh, Prelate Yaki. She can recite the 307 verses of the funerary rites for the virtuous fallen, but the simple task of keeping our names straight seems ever beyond her grasp. Wahaha. Well, I, for one, find the constant confusion endlessly entertaining. My apologies, my dear. My merriment was not meant to mock your mistake. It is our sibling Kokobuki with whom you should speak. What's this? Thal has led to us a new aspirant? Ah, Kokobuki, were you here the entire time? Greetings, child. I am Kokobuki, the eldest, and I would venture to say the wisest of the 5 masters of the Thaumaturgist Guild. It is my solemn duty to furnish our would-be initiates with a succinct understanding of our beloved art. Thus, I would have your fullest attention. To wield thaumaturgy is to unleash devastation of the highest magnitude. The lethal force of our spells far exceeds the destructive capability of any other form of arcane manipulation. Fire, lightning, blizzards, somnolence. The thaumaturge calls upon an expansive arsenal of offensive incantations to incapacitate and obliterate all manner of adversaries. Open your mind to our sorceress teachings, and you too shall soon hold the unparalleled power of our discipline in the palm of your hand. Of course, such power has a price. You must be willing to plunge headfirst into the forbidding chasm of thaumaturgy's secrets, for advancement in this art comes only with the completion of deadly and terrible trials. I ask you now, aspirant, are you prepared to leap into the abyss in pursuit of power unrivaled? A confident response. Your name, if you will. Very well, Corrado. Let us mark your initiation with 3 eminently practical gifts. My first gift to you shall be an addition to your hunting log, the names of such enemies that will prove suitable to your training as a thaumaturge. The second and third gifts are the scepter and shield, instruments you will need to focus the destructive force of your will. Did you believe your initiation over, my dear disciple? We have only just begun. Take your new weapons in hand, and I will set you forth upon your first trial. Thaumaturge. Move up. Above Arcanist. Below Conjurer. Thaumaturge is right next to Arcanist. That would go right here. Now we can teleport to return to New Gridania. And we will first off grab carpentry. Greetings, adventurer, and welcome to the Carpenter's Guild. We are the artisans who take wood and grant it new form and purpose as the archer's bow, the lancer's spear, and the novice's shield. If carpentry holds any appeal, you should consider joining our guild. Might you be interested in learning the ways of woodworking? Wonderful, wonderful. Now, before we proceed, I think it only right that I acquaint you with our guild's storied past. Since the founding of Gridania, we have built our homes and crafted our weapons from the trees of the Twelves Wood. As our nation grew and prospered, the woodworkers' repertoire expanded to encompass a greater variety of articles, and carpentry developed into an art. At first, there was no association of carpenters. Each individual worked and sold his services independently. However, the advent of water mills meant that more efficient construction methods were needed. along with the formalized maintenance regimes, all of which necessitated organization. The Carpenters Guild was found to oversee the operation of watermills and promote cooperation between woodworkers. Now, I must mention at this point that we owe much and more of our prosperity to the Great Loam Growery. Thanks to the hardworking botanists, we are blessed with the finest lumber in all Eorzea. This confluence of ideal circumstances allows us to provide all manner of goods and services to the people of Gridania. My apologies, that was rather longer than I intended. Still, I trust you have gained a greater understanding of our guild. We expect our members to drink deep of the collective wisdom that the guild has amassed over the course of its history, to actively seek an understanding of wood and the techniques required to work it, rather than simply waiting to be taught. We expect, in short, nothing less than the total commitment to the craft. If you wish to start down this path, speak to me once more. Wonderful. I should mention at this point that Timber Master Beaton assesses all would-be apprentices personally, so you will need to obtain his approval before you begin. Timber Master Beaton can be a harsh and unforgiving man, but if you love the craft and have the will to learn, you could ask for no better tutor. He is, quite simply, the finest carpenter in Gridania. Of course, it will take you some time and no small amount of effort to comprehend the full extent of his teachings, but you may rest assured that he will not lead you astray. That said, when you meet him, I would advise you to choose your words carefully and, resist the urge to run away. Another green adventurer, come to play with saws? Well then, I suggest you first speak with the... Oh, you've met with Cork, have you? That is well, but know that the decision to initiate you into the guild rests with me. Tell me true, adventurer, have you a mind to devote yourself to the art of carpentry? The look on your face bespeaks determination, or mayhap trapped wind. Still, you look strong enough to hold a saw, and if your resolve is indeed genuine, I give you leave to remain for the time being. However, you are useless to me in your current state. You are as a seedling, some potential, perhaps, but no more like to thrive than perish. Experience is what you require, girl, and I shall give you the means to acquire it. Take this saw. It is old, yes, but sharp as needs be. Now, prove to me that you are not completely incompetent by taking up your new tool. Once you have done so, present yourself to me for inspection. Carpenter is, I think, at the top, isn't it? Carpenter is the top of these. And it is going to be 7. Bottom. Yes. Archers Guild. Greetings, adventurer, and welcome to the Archers Guild. It is here that archers the realm over gather to master the bow. We engage the enemy from a distance, ever seeking to alter the course of battle with a single well-placed arrow. If you have a mind to become an archer, then you have come to the right place. Do you wish to join our ranks? Marvelous. Then allow me to enlighten you on the history of both our art and the guild. The bow is an ancient tool that has existed since before our fair nation came into being. As an implement of war and hunting both, it protects us from our enemies, even as it keeps us fed and clothed. Archery, as practiced in Gridania, was born of two distinct styles of bowmanship. The first was devised by the long bow sentries of the Elwazan, who once ruled the lowlands, while the second belonged to the short bow hunters of the formerly nomadic Mikot. As you will doubtless be aware, both races ultimately came to call the Twelveswood home. Though the two peoples began as rivals, they gradually learned to live together in harmony. During this time, they learned from one another, their two schools of archery intermingling to give birth to the art as it is known today. But this wouldn't have been possible were it not for the Trappers' League. The guild was established in order to promote sustainable hunting and cooperation within the hunting fraternity at large. As a happy consequence of this union, the guild's members came to engage in friendly contests of skill. Inspired by such competitions, a handful of their number began to focus on perfection as opposed to mere practicality, transforming a skill into what may be termed an art. These individuals would go on to form a guild of their own, the Archers Guild, where men and women gather to attain mastery over the bow. More than a few members of the God's Quiver loosed their first arrow within these very halls. And that, my friend, is a brief history of archery in Gridania. Doubtless you are more eager than ever to take up the bow. It would be my pleasure to recommend you to our guildmaster. You must receive her permission if you are to join us. Yes. The look in your eye bespeaks your determination. It would be my pleasure to refer you to Guildmaster Lucienne. Lest you worry unduly, Lucienne is an affable and kind-hearted woman. Even those not of the guild have been known to seek her counsel on various matters, and ever have they been given fair hearing. Lucienne awaits you in the training area yonder. Present yourself before her, and impress upon her your desire to join the guild. Greetings, adventurer. I am told you wish to join our ranks. I am Lucienne, the master of the Archers Guild, and I bid you welcome. Our doors are open to all who have the will to learn. Allow me to explain the basics of our art and offer you a foretaste of that which we teach the members of our guild. The bow's greatest advantage is its range. Unlike those arms used in other disciplines of war, it allows one to strike at the enemy from afar. Though the bow may not boast the destructive force of a sword or spear, its myriad strategic applications more than compensate for this shortcoming. An experienced archer can immobilize an enemy by striking a leg or sap its strength with a poisoned arrow. Rise to become a virtuoso of archery, and a veritable deluge of death will be yours to rain down upon your foes. By fighting from a distance, we can better assess the battlefield and thereby determine the most advantageous course of action. This is of paramount import, as our role in battle is to exploit the enemy's weakness. With the requisite placement and timing, but a single arrow may serve to turn the tide. To this end, the guild seeks to instill a discerning eye within its members, that they might learn to strike at vulnerabilities swiftly and surely. Now, any half-wit can bend the bow, but it is no simple undertaking to become a skilled archer. You must be prepared for a long and arduous journey. Are you resolved to complete that journey? Yes. That is well. From this moment forth you may consider yourself one of our number. Now lend me your hunting log, if you would. I shall add to it the names of such creatures as would provide a fitting challenge to an archer, and to help you on your way I bestow upon you this short bow. Arm yourself with your new weapon and then speak to me again. I would have you undertake a trial to gauge your fitness to join the guild. We are almost done. I think we have 2 more jobs to gather. Archer. Above thaumaturge. Gladiator, Marauder, Dark Knight, Gunbreaker, Pugilist, Lancer, Rogue, Samurai, Reaper, Conjurer, Scholar, Astrologian, Sage, Archer. Archer, Sage, Astrologian, Scholar, Conjurer. So let's go. Oh, we have 3 Lancers, Leather Workers, and then Botanists. I'm getting tired of talking. Welcome to the Lancers Guild, adventurer. If you seek to refine your skills with the polearm, then you have come to the right place. Here at the Lancers Guild, spear wielders gather to train with one another and further hone their abilities under the tutelage of our fine instructors. Do you seek membership with us? Very well, I shall provide you with an insight into the history of our guild. More than just an instrument of war, the spear is also a tool for hunting, and with game ever plentiful in the Twelfswood, the weapon has been the mainstay of the locals here since before the founding of Gridania. With the passing of time, our nation became a gathering place for spearmasters from across the realm, many eager to test their mettle against the famed might of our wood whalers. And it was here in Gridania that their myriad fighting styles came into contact, eventually giving rise to the art taught here today. That spear technique could be formalized at all, owed much to the founding of the Lancers Guild by wood whaler Captain Mistal, nigh on a century past. The tradition of accepting students from without as well as within Gridania's borders persists to this day, ensuring that the art of the polearm may not only survive but also continue to evolve. Well, there you have it. I hope this brief history of the guild has helped settle any doubts in your mind. The Lancers Guild is always eager to welcome new initiates. If you have a will to enlist, speak with me again. Excellent. I shall let Guildmaster Wayne know to expect you. All who seek admittance to our ranks must present themselves before him. He will judge if you are fit to become one of us. Pray, make your way to the training area within. Our Guildmaster awaits you there. Well met, adventurer. I understand you wish to learn the Lancer's art under our roof. I see you have some combat experience, yet it remains to be seen if such skills as you have acquired will avail you here. But no matter, in my capacity as Guildmaster, I shall guide your training, beginning with the very basics, the principles of our art. There exist myriad fighting styles, each of which has its own unique qualities. None, however, can claim to be as offensively minded as ours. Our approach is ever one of attack, no matter who or what we face. An experienced lancer is able to wield a polearm as if it were an extension of his body. He transforms into a raging storm before his foes, delivering a barrage of devastating thrusts and slashes. To facilitate such a relentless assault, we lancers forego plate, favoring armor of leather and chain, such materials as provide adequate protection without unduly hindering movement. A lancer's worth may be measured quite simply in how swiftly and decisively he can pierce his enemy's defenses. By its nature, the polearm is a simple weapon to wield, for good or ill, even in a farmer's hands. It is capable of wreaking considerable havoc. Thus has it been a mainstay of every great army since ancient times. Yet know that a lance alone does not a lancer make. Faced with unfavorable odds, an unseasoned spearman will break formation and flee without a moment's hesitation. A true lancer, however, flinches not before his enemies, for he knows not the meaning of fear. Ever does he press forward, disdainful of the odds that he might pierce the enemy line and open a path to victory. Needless to say, doing so requires no small amount of courage, and that is why our guild has striven from the first to instill this essential quality in every soul who passes through our halls. Arduous trials await you should you join our ranks. Knowing this, have you the resolve to wield the lance? Well said, adventurer. I see no reason to deny you a place within our ranks, but I neglected to introduce myself. I am Wayne, master of this guild. Pleasantries duly exchanged, I shall add to your hunting log the names of the creatures against which a lancer might hone his skills. In celebration of the occasion, I hereby present you with your very own spear. Arm yourself with it, and speak to me once more. I would have you undertake your first task, a trial to be precise. Lancer is below, pugilist above rogue. Set to hotbar. between pugilist and rogue is going to be right there. Over to the Leather Makers Guild. Greetings and welcome to the Leather Workers Guild. Here we produce the finest leather goods, taking care to honor the lives which were sacrificed for their creation. Our leather armor is worn by the archers and lancers of this great nation, and favored by all who prefer that their protection does not come at a cost to mobility. If you wish to place an order, I bid you visit Fen Yi Fineries. If, on the other hand, you have a mind to join our guild, I should be happy to assist you. Might you be interested in becoming a leather worker? Nothing would make me happier than to welcome a new initiate into our ranks. However, it is essential that you first understand the burden that every leather worker must bear. As you cannot have failed to notice, the Quelveswood is blessed with an abundance of life, and we Gridanians have long hunted the forest creatures for both nourishment and clothing. But Gridania is unlike any other place. The elementals that watch over the Quelveswood have never looked kindly on the taking of life, and those who flout their governance do so at their own peril. The elementals decreed that life not be taken without due necessity, and so the Trappers' League was formed to regulate the hunting of animals. The Leather Workers Guild was subsequently founded to manage the fair and equitable distribution of pelts. Nowadays, adventurers are a major supplier of pelts, and leather goods have become widespread, but in times past they were rare and precious. The Leather Workers Guild has not forgotten those times. We treat leather with no less respect than the living creatures whence it comes, and craft goods of the highest quality. In so doing, we honor the lives lost and minimize the need for further killing, an oft-forgotten benefit of our product's surpassing durability. Our guild is also the sole producer of the famous Yenfi Fen Yi brand of leather goods, the pride of Gridania. These products represent the ultimate expression of our core tenets and the transcendent technique which shaped them. Know, though, that being a guild member does not automatically make you a Fen Yi artisan. You must earn the right to become one. For most of the leather workers here, having the fruit of their labors bear the Fen Yi brand is yet a distant dream. That is the life which awaits you, should you choose to walk this path. Success will not be handed to you, but I guarantee that you will have the opportunity to seize it. So if you wish to make a name for yourself, yes, very well, I invite you to speak with Guildmaster Geva. She is a brilliant artisan, personally responsible for the creation of countless Fen Yi products. You have doubtless heard her name before. The Guildmaster's patterns are uniformly elegant, and with them, even novice craftsmen can cut their materials with minimal waste. It is for her to decide if you are fit to join us. She can be found in the work area within. Present yourself to her and do not waver in your determination. What do we have for 250 fire? So 100. So that lightning will need to get more. We need 165. Everything else we're good for our first bulk craft. So you wish to become a leather worker. If you've spoken with Randall, then you've been told what it means to work with leather, the weight you must carry, the responsibility you must bear. Not just to the elementals, mind you, but also to the guild. Our craftsmanship is unrivaled, and each member is expected to live up to that reputation. Once you join, there is no turning back. If you dishonor us, I shall flay you myself and make a chocobo saddle from your hide. Will you swear to uphold our traditions and be the best leather worker you can be? Very well, you may learn our craft within these walls, though you seem ill-equipped to do even that. I will give you a head knife to help you on your way, but the rest is up to you. Do not presume that your association with us means your work will bear the Fen Yi name. Until you prove yourself worthy, you will not be permitted to so much as touch a Fen Yi product, much less craft one. Now then, if we're to continue with your initiation, you'll need to put that knife in your hand first and talk to me when you're ready to begin. Leather worker is above weaver, below goldsmith. Wrong door. Hello there, and welcome to the Botanist Guild. What brings you here today? Interested in becoming a botanist, are you? Then you've come to the right place. At our guild, you can study under some of the finest botanists in all the realm. An enticing proposition, is it not? So what say you? Would you like to add your name to our roll? Excellent. Now you're doubtless eager to dive headlong into the nearest shrubbery, but first, a brief explanation on the origins of the Botanist Guild. Our guild boasts a long history. Its roots can be traced back some 500 years to when our nation was still in its infancy. It was around that time that a precursor organization to our own was established to facilitate communion with the elementals. But I suspect you're already confused, not being Forestborn. Let me put it in a way that your kind would understand. The Twelves Wood doesn't belong to man, but almighty beings known as elementals. It is by their leave that we Gridanians dwell here in the forest, and it is by their leave that we receive of its bounty. Ever since mankind settled in the Twelves Wood, it has been necessary for us to obtain the elementals' permission prior to taking aught from their domain. Historically, this was a rather involved process, in that only a precious few could actually commune with them, specifically those conjurers blessed with the ability to hear the elementals, aptly known as hearers. In order to relay the elementals' will to the botanists in a more timely manner, a new organization was formed with a hearer as its mouth and ears. This organization would eventually evolve to become the Botanist Guild. To this day, the guild employs the services of a hearer who offers guidance to our members, yet this is no longer our organization's sole concern. We also seek to promulgate correct harvesting practices. That is, practices which honor the will of the elementals. And that, my friend, is the story of how our guild came to be. I trust you have a newfound appreciation for the work we do. Now, with all this talk of elementals and communing, mayhap you're wondering whether you're fit to join us. Well, you may cast such doubts aside. You don't need to have been raised as a good little Forceborn girl to be a botanist, nor do you need to know the secret Forceborn salute. I jest. You just need a healthy respect for nature and the will to learn. If you honestly believe you possess these things, it would be my pleasure to recommend you to our guildmaster. Please wait a moment while I see to the formalities. Speak to me again when you are ready to begin the enrollment procedures. Music to my ears, it will be my pleasure to refer you to Guildmaster Fufucha. Our guildmaster's knowledge of nature is second to none. One need only witness her uncanny knack for spotting the finest timber to see that hers is a truly God's given talent. It is for this reason that she holds the title of first botanist. Oh, but you need not be overawed, for she is the kindliest of souls. You will find the guildmaster just outside this building. Seek her out and impress upon her your desire to become a botanist. I'm Fufucha, the master of this guild. Pleased to make your acquaintance. I take it Leon Salt has given you an overview of botany already. Well then, I suppose I had better continue where you left off. All Gridanians may rightly claim to share a close relationship with nature, but none is so intimate as that of the botanist. It is our calling to nurture the natural environment to the mutual benefit of man and wood. But even as nature holds us in her loving embrace, providing for our every need, she is at heart an unsentimental creature, one that will take life just as readily as she gives it. Being a botanist means coming face to face with this uncomfortable truth on a regular basis. Knowing this, do you still wish to walk our path? Yes. The look in your eye bespeaks the passion in your heart. Very well, I bid you welcome to the Botanist Guild. To help you on your way, I present you with this hatchet. Take it up, and then present yourself to me again. Botanist unlocked. Botanist is between Fisher and Miner. Oh, we are done for now. We will call it a day here and raid out to someone. I think Faka is live currently, so we will probably raid out to him. He's playing marbles on stream. Stream manager. Raid. Faka. Thank you guys for joining me, and we will see you next time.